Welcome. In front of me is a HUAWEI MatePad 10.4 from this year, which is 2022, and today I'll go over unboxing along with a quick overview of it. So anyway, let's just pop it open. As you can see, it does come with a pen, which I do like to see. Just get rid of these plastic little things, and I was looking for something like similar to what Apple does with like pull tabs, so we can get rid of this foil easily, but it looks like they haven't done such a thing yet. Now, it looks like that's not the only thing in here, which I guess explains why it's so thick. So anyway, I'm gonna also rip this apart. So we might actually have like a full combo here. I have no idea what I actually got to unbox, so bear with me. There we go. Okay, so we got the smart cover, the actual pad itself, and a pen. So I think that is the full actual combo. So you know what? I'll start with the keyboard. Move that to the side, and this. Oh, surprise, surprise! There is a keyboard inside and a cover. Get it out. Now the texture of it is a little bit weird. It's kind of like a rubberish texture. I'm not sure if I actually like it, but I guess it probably will be more rigid. Then in here we get the weird keyboard. Oh, that is so weird. That is that is gonna be something to get used to. The keyboard layout is out there, especially that enter. Oh boy, that is such a hard thing to hit. You usually have like enter that would be like these two keys combined. So yeah, this is super small, and overall the layout itself is like really crammed. So here I'm gonna bring out my keyboard that I recently got. I've been loving it really, but this is also one of a super small keyboards. And if you compare this to this, like, geez, this is like absolutely minuscule compared to this already a super small keyboard, which is a 60% one. So yeah, that will be a hard keyboard to get used to be honest. At least I feel like it. I haven't actually used it at all, so I have no idea if that will be the case. Maybe it will take you a couple hours to get used to it, a couple days, but I have a feeling like it might be a little bit weird. Now the keys actually do have a nice tactile feel to it. They're not easy to press, and they are obviously membrane, but like really low travel, obviously, as you would expect from that thickness. But yeah, it's a keyboard that it would be hard to press keys by mistake, which is a good thing considering the keys are so small and everything is so packed together. It has nice space between the keys, so that is also a really good thing. It will nivellate some of those like just like double presses when you press a key not directly on it and maybe press some other ones along with it. It's really hard to press another key with it. You literally have to like hit in the middle of it to actually get them to both of them. So that is actually a fairly good design in this aspect alone, but still I think it might be a little bit on the smaller side. Anyway, I'm gonna close this off and put it to the side for now and come back to it once I actually get the actual pad out. But before I do so, well, let's get to the pen. There we go. Pair and charge. So I do need to connect it to the tablet itself. It wasn't the first time around to start charging it, and it is a little bit wonky that you do need to literally have it plugged in. Like, come on. That should just charge wirelessly at this point. Now in here we got the cable, I assume. That looks a little bit weird. I will unpack it just because I'm curious how it looks like. There we go. Huh? Okay. So that's how it charges. Has a little concaved surface right here, as you can see, and this is convex. It just kind of fits in here. So there we go. Let's just get rid of this. We got a couple tips right here, a couple different ones, as you can see. So if I actually let me just unpack it and can maybe get a closer look. So here we got like a clear one with what looks to be like a metal ball tip at the end. And the other one is more of a rubbery looking one. So there we go. And the one that comes pre-applied on the pen itself is this one. At least it looks like it. So you can see it's one of those like clearer ones. So anyway, let's just continue with this. Get this trash out of the way. There we go. And keep the pen here. Now let's move to the star of the show, I guess, which is the MatePad. So in here, as considering this is the Huawei device, they don't have access to the Google Play Store or any Play services. So we get this little pen flip right here letting us know that if we want some kind of apps, we can download them from Pedal Search, or not Pedal Search, App Gallery. Now also it gives us a couple other ones as a substitute. So we have Pedal Search instead of like Google Search, and we have Tablet Clone. I assume Phone Clone should still work if you have like an older Huawei device, kind of like I do, which still had Play services on it. At least for me. Here I have Phone Clone, so I assume it should connect to this app without any problem, but I'm just guessing. I would genuinely hope that I can. Anyway, just eat that out of the way. Eat this out of the box. To be honest, from the pictures, this device looked a little bit better, like from what I've seen. Anyway, while it's turning on, I'm gonna quickly go into the box content. So here we got some paperwork and a charging cable. Come on, there we go. And it's a type A to type C, I guess, probably what you would expect. And here we also get a, oh no, what is this? Come on. Apparently it's called a Huawei supercharger. It doesn't look like anything super. I guess it's not it's no sneeze. It's 22.5 watts, still better than what Samsung has for their devices. So I guess I can't really complain here. It just looked like one of those 5-watt chargers for some reason. It really looks generic, as you can see. Anyway, let's now get this. Geez, I have a now mess of boxes around here. Let's pop it in here. I'm gonna first go through the setup right here. And while I do so, alright, I need to connect to Wi-Fi, so give me a sec. There we go. Now, pop. Connect. Connecting. Mi Pen connected. Great. So now I should be able to unplug it and yep, it's already working. Okay. I was expecting a little bit of a dot, kind of like Samsung's or a couple other manufacturers have when they have like this proprietary pen, but it's not a thing here apparently. Come on. Yes, we already know how to use them. Can I just... There we go. Finish. Okay, so there we go. Now, if I close it... Yep. Okay, so it locks the display and unlocks it when you open it up. Typical stuff that you would expect. Man, that case just feels so weird. Oh, okay, it's magnetically attached and really strong magnetically attached, as you've just seen it literally snap into place. So when you kind of damn, that is like on the next level. You can hear just slam into place. Now looking at this right now when it's in place, also one additional thing that just feels a little bit weird is how close the display is to the keyboard right here. There's like no space. Probably would have been much better if you can have it like somewhere here, giving you that more of a laptop feel, but then the screen is at a much more like straight angle, considering to be more leaned towards you. Now I'm gonna quickly just shoot through the specs of this device. So we're looking at a 10.4-inch display, which you would expect. It's a 1200 by 2000 pixels. It's a IPS LCD display only, unfortunately without any kind of high refresh rate, which again, it's just a shame. 470 apparently nits of typical brightness, 224 pixels per inch with 81% screen to body ratio. So there we go. We just blasted through these screen specs. Now when it comes down to cameras, we have a I think it was a dual camera? Nope, just a single one. So this is a 8 megapixel sensor at the back and also at the front right here. So two different 8 megapixels cameras on both ends of the phone, and with those you can shoot at only 1080p 30 frames, so I guess that's reasonable considering you're not going to be running around with this and just taking, I don't know, portrait photos of like landscapes and stuff like that. That just looks too goofy. Use a phone for that. And in terms of internals, we're looking at their Kirin processor, so Kirin 820, which is a 5G chipset. So we do have connectivity of 5G, which actually begs the question, this actually has a SIM card most likely. Or would take a SIM card if I can find it where it is. Come on. Where the heck is it? Let me just pop it out of here. Oh, there we go. So I'm gonna quickly grab this little guy. Oh, so I guess there might be two different versions of this, because this one only takes SD card, as you can see. No SIM card. Though considering this has a 5G chipset in here. Come on, where are you? What's wrong? There we go. So considering, yeah, this has 5G chipset, I would expect it to have the option of having LTE. Anyway, just blasting again through the rest of it. It comes with only 4 gigs of RAM, which I guess it's a little bit on the lower side. Let me quickly check the price tag. Oh, okay. So this comes, at least the tablet itself. With all the like accessories, it's going to be obviously more expensive, and I don't actually have a number on how much more expensive. Haven't actually checked it. But the tablet itself comes at around price tag of 350 euros, which is actually fairly reasonable considering you can get a pen for it and other stuff, and it will work just well. Now, one thing that would probably make this tablet significantly better would have been a higher refresh rate. This would make the actual the tablet be much more fun to use, I would say, at least right now, considering almost every tablet nowadays has a at least 90 Hz refresh rate. Now, with that being said, we have right here, like I mentioned, Kyrian. We have also 4 gigs of RAM that I mentioned as well, and we have 2 different versions of storage. We have 64 or 128, which if you want, you can go for the lowest one. It won't really change almost anything apart from the storage size. And the reason you can go for the lowest one is because we do have that expansion of SD card. So if you need more than 64, just pop in an SD card and call it a day. It will be probably cheaper and also more versatile rather than just going with like 128 gig one. Though obviously it's an option too. If it's not much more, then like if it's 20 bucks more, I would say it's worth to go for the 128. So that's what I would kind of justify it as. Anyway, battery size right here. For this relatively small device, we do have a fairly decent battery of 7250 milliamps with a 22 watt charger, or 22.5 watt charger, so it should charge fairly quickly. So for a really like mid-range device to low mid-range device, this seems to be actually a fairly decent tablet considering you do have a pen support. We do have something like this. This though, I personally don't really like the case for it, or maybe not the case, the keyboard itself. So in my case, which no pun intended actually, I'll be using what I have, which is, like I showed before, the Newfie keyboard. I absolutely adore this keyboard. Get out of my way. There we go. So just to kind of showcase this, it does come with a cover, as you can see, but it doubles as a phone stand. So I can just clip it on here. Now this is obviously a travel case as well, so I get benefit of that. And I can slap the tablet in here and have basically the same exact thing, just with a much more comfortable keyboard to use. Don't look at the shift. That's not comfortable. So yeah, that's probably what I would be going with. It would be a much better alternative for me. And obviously this is wireless keyboard, so we'll just connect it using Bluetooth and that's it. But obviously not no one, but probably most of you won't have such a keyboard. I'm just a little bit crazy, and yeah. So for everybody who just wants something that is a fairly decent travel case and also a case for the tablet itself, this will most likely do the job. Obviously, it is a case and it comes with a keyboard if you like to utilize that. Obviously, if you don't, you can just flip it back. So obviously, if you flip it back, you'll be kind of holding it by the keys, which I wouldn't consider the most comfortable. So anyway, there's not much more to say about this device. It's a fairly decent package for the price that it comes at, and if you're looking for I wouldn't say a good tablet, because in terms of specs, it's not necessarily anything like high-end, but for the price that you pay, this is a decent device to use. It should work fairly well. It is a little bit on the lower side with RAM, but still, for typical usage, it should have no problem. And obviously the addition of a pen, which not very many devices have, will have a great benefit. And obviously devices that do come with a pen are significantly more expensive, and some of them do support it. Though this one supports it but doesn't come with it, I should mention that. So this is closer to like what Apple does, that they have support for it, but you need to buy it separately, unlike Samsung, which includes it. So If the pen doesn't cost too much, like $100 like Apple does, then yeah, I think it's a really great buy. Pen is always nice. I do enjoy myself using a pen, and obviously for creative use it's even better to have a pen that you can draw with on a tablet. But even for like normal usage, this will work wonders. Obviously you can see it's fairly good. The tablet is a little bit on the slower side. You can kind of see it just lag a bit and not be the fastest thing that you would have. So like I said, the processor in here isn't competing with the flagships right here, and nowhere near. This is probably going to be the biggest drawdown of this device, how slow it is. So yeah, one last thing, the pen itself. It's a fairly nicely weighted pen. It's not like paperweight, although paperweight is a wrong term. It doesn't, like, it has some weight to it. You can kind of feel the heft of it, and that's actually really nice. I do enjoy a pen that actually can feel the weight of it, though it's nothing like super significant. It's still there, and it's enough. Like comparing to some other pens, I think Samsung pens are super light. In my opinion, too light, while the Apple pens are like really heavy. So this is kind of like in the middle of it, and it does feel good in hand. Now, one additional thing that I'll mention, there's no buttons on the pen itself. As you can see, it's just a pen. Some of the pens, as you probably realized before, like Samsung ones, obviously do have a couple buttons right here that you can do some gestures and all that stuff. This is more catering to like Apple pen, where it's just a pen itself and that's it. So yeah, there we go. That would basically finish it up. There's not much, or not much. There is nothing else I can say about it. Everything, all the specs were given. A little bit of like my personal thought on it, or a lot of my personal thoughts on it. And yeah, it's for the price that it costs, it's a decent combo, assuming you can get it for like about $400 with a pen. The case I would probably not be worried about. It's the case, I would probably buy a separate case for it without a keyboard. That would be just my personal go-to, though I do understand some people want to buy a combo, which is completely fine. I'm just saying the keyboard here I might be a struggle to get used to, and that's why I wouldn't really pick it up solely for the actual keyboard use. So anyway, that being said, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.